Yeah, good day, everyone. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to everybody for sharing, for contributing, and of course, for encouraging me throughout this period, and of course, for championing the cause of movement for transformation. Movement for transformation would not be a reality without the people around me. And I want to still use this opportunity to use this short video to introduce to everybody the intent behind movement for transformation. Movement for transformation wants to bring out the giant within everybody. Now, what we all need to understand is that each one of us is a reformer. Believe it or not, each one of us is a reformer. But it takes absolute discipline. It takes you discovering and rediscovering your real self to be able to know the code that nature has bestowed upon you. But for you to be able to identify this call, you have to first of all condition your mind for success. Now, success may mean wealth to some people, and success may also mean consciousness to some people. Well, in any case, you need both to be able to make an impact in this life. Now, if you think that you don't need both to make an impact in this life, you still have a choice, and you still have that moral right to depend on what will give you fulfillment. Either is what will give you the experience you want to experience as a spiritual being in this physical realm. But what we should all understand, after all, or to begin with, is that our lives, whether failure or success, is basically dependent on how much faith we have in ourselves and the goals we are intending to accomplish in life. Now, what we also need to actually understand is that everything in life is light. So when you raise up your height, in fact, when you raise up your head and look up to the skies, what you see in the night are stars. Now, many would think that the stars produce the light, but unfortunately, the light is what creates the star. Now, you are light, even as you're watching right now. So it means that you are complete vibration. You have every form of potential to be able to manifest whatsoever thing you want to manifest here on earth. The mantle is upon you. That mantle is upon you to be able to discover and rediscover whatsoever thing you want to discover. Remember, you are the master of your destiny and, of course, the captain of your own soul. So you have that moral right to the sovereignty of your life. You are not obligated to respond to any form of worldly authority, because the only true form of authority is truth, and that is God. So movement for transformation wants to bring upon the human race what we call reformation. For you to be able to reform people, they must first identify themselves. So I have come out with a book known as Secret of One and Zero. Now, so many people will have to understand that zero comes before one, but in this case, one comes before zero because it is a code. Now, one represents life and zero represents value. Now, for you to be able to make any kind of reform or to be able to make any kind of reformation on earth, you must first of all appreciate the life which is light or word in you before you can add value to that life. Now, what you are able to sell in the marketplace is value. But before you can sell value in the marketplace, you need life to accomplish that value. So basically, Secret of One and Zero will reveal unto you the mind control system that is being used, of course, to condition your mind in a negative perspective, therefore enabling you to send out negative vibrations that will cause that slope of failure in your life. Remember, success could also be a curse, and failure could also be a blessing. Now, it depends on how much you define success or how much you see. It depends on how much you define success and how much you define failure. Now, some people see riches, financial abundance as success. They may have every form of energy to be able to accumulate money, but they would have been losing in some aspect of spirituality. Well, you might be blessed with money, but you are cursed in terms of spirituality, because you will be fulfilled in the physical things of the earth, of the world, but you will not be fulfilled in the spiritual things of the world, in the spiritual things within you. Now, if you don't get fulfilled with the spiritual things within you, you would have been lagging in one aspect of life. So that's the more reason why Movement for Transformation doesn't want you to use one part of the brain. Movement for Transformation wants a balance in your thinking. Instead of using the intellect or logic or common sense, Movement for Transformation wants you to add intuition and emotion so that you can have what we call intelligence. Because intelligence is what gives you a balance to be able to attain the level of consciousness you need for a breakthrough in this life. So let us all join hands together, and in about a week to come, the book will be ready, and it will be an ebook yet on Amazon Kindle store. So you can, when it is ready, you can check it out on Amazon Kindle. But I want us all to understand that this life needs faith for fulfillment. Whatsoever thing that you want to accomplish in life, you can accomplish it, provided you believe in yourself, provided you believe in the goal you are pursuing. Now, you have an agenda to pursue. If you don't have faith in that agenda, an outsider or a second party cannot have faith in that your goal, and it will manifest for you, unless of course you have faith in that goal you are pursuing. Now mind you, you have to be able to understand the call that you are responding as a duty in your life. Don't also forget that you have been given that mantle to be able to expand your jurisdictions, just to take care of those that need to be under you, to understand what they need to understand to get to where they must get to. But don't be deceived into thinking that it is supposed to be that some people have that moral right to authority and others have that moral obligation to obeying authority. Though I still define authority as a form of religion, I don't see authority as godly, because the God that created us gave unto mankind sovereignty and freedom. Now, this sovereignty or freedom given unto mankind is a replication of He, God Himself. So it means that we each are dependent on each other to be able to manifest our realities here on earth, just to let the kingdom of God manifest in the physical form. So myself and you both have responsibilities, because I cannot do without you and you cannot equally do without me. It may not directly be me, but you still need another person to be able to accomplish your mission here on earth. That's why more often than not, I like it when people say that the entire world is our country, the human race is our brethren, and of course, doing good is supposed to be our religion. So Movement for Transformation has come out with this formula to be able to transform people into reformers, so that we'll be able to make our beloved continent and the rest of the world a place to be. We each have conscience, we each have thinking capacity, and we each have the Spirit of God in us. Now, the first aspect of God as a proof of His presence in you is the life you can breathe right now. Without life, you will cease to exist, and that life is God. So believe it or not, you may not like it, but you cannot change it. No matter your state of being, there is a God in you. Now, your manifestation is as a result of that God in you. So you need to be very careful with the kind of words you use, because as a God, every word that comes out of your mouth must be accounted for, because it's not coming back void. And remember, your word is like a double-edged sword, both negative and positive, depending on how you manipulate it. So if you want to be able to shape in your life in a positive direction, then you have to be ready to speak words that are indeed impeccable.